Welcome to Medica Nova Wellness Studio. I'm Dr. AngelikaMariaKoch with the educational videos about optimal health and the most innovative and holistic approach to your well-being. Hi everybody, how are you doing? I hope that this indoor life is soon coming to an end. It's getting to me a little bit too, but you know, there's a silver lining. Around me, my neighbors, especially they who have children, are planting gardens. I know I live in the northern hemisphere and spring is up, but there's a different feel to it. I think people start to think about long term. They can't go to the shop, so why not create your own food supply, you know? Just really nurture yourself. Get in touch with earth. I think it's a fantastic idea. But with gardening comes seasonal allergies. And a lot of patients calling in already and saying, hey, I got my sneezing attacks, what to do? So welcome to the season of allergies. I know I made a video about this already in the past, but I thought I'd bring it back in again because it is appropriate. So in this video, I will share with you how you can heal your itchy eyes, runny nose, sneezing attacks with the most top natural remedies and effective protocols. So enjoy this video. To stay updated with more ongoing videos, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel, share and like it with your friends and family, and don't forget to hit that bell. And also have a look at my website, medicanova.net, at the online academy, where you will find certified comprehensive home study online courses in integrated mental health, health coaching, homeopathy, quantum healing, and so much more. And if you're interested in a personal health consultation, either for yourself or your children, I'm happy to help. Contact me at health@medicanova.net. So thank you. So let's first have a look how an allergy can affect your body and overall health. And I think you'll find this video informative because it gives you a little bit more sort of unheard nuggets, in order to beat your sneezing attacks. So an allergy starts usually with an overactive immune system. So your immune system mistakes a normally harmless incoming substance for a dangerous invader. Your immune system then produces antibodies. They're called immunoglobulin IgE antibodies. And that are always then on the alert for your particular allergens. People who experience allergies, they usually show a high number of these antibodies and often way too much of them. During this process, mast cells, I explain that in a minute, get injured during this warring off of these IgE antibodies and allergic substances. But what is a mast cell? They're quite large in size and they belong to your immune system. And each mast cells is filled with, we call it basophil granules. And they're found in numbers in your connective tissue. Now this basophil granule releases histamine, maybe you heard about it, and other substances during this inflammatory and allergic reaction. So when this mast cell is injured, it releases this a variety of chemicals into the tissues and blood, and one of them is known as histamine, and that causes your allergic reaction. Now when you have a general blood test, and it's usually the first page and you go all the way down, you see neutrophils, you see eosinophils, you see basophil. And if your reference range is high, it means you are susceptible to environmental triggers and allergies. But what are the common symptoms? Well, you know them best, right? Sneezing, 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 runny nose, nasal congestion, itching of the nose, postnasal drip, yes, often involved itchy, watery, even swollen eyes, After a few weeks, you have dark circles under your eyes. Others will experience chronic sinus infections, scratchy, sore throat on waking, and you have maybe tickling, irritation in the ear, up to even middle ear infections. Often people have trouble smelling or tasting food, so everything tastes bland for months on go. And with it comes the decreased concentration, lack of focus. You can't even make a decision anymore, right? And not to mention the mood swings then. Become irritable. You're just not yourself. Life is miserable having allergies. Others maybe aggravate existing conditions such as low blood pressure, or their asthma gets worse, or they experience hives like skin eruptions. It's not easy to have allergies, but the pollens that are spread by the wind are usually the main cause of seasonal allergies, whereas the pollen, which depend on pollination via insects, like pollen is taken from plant to plant, are not part of this scenario. But pollen, of course, can travel long distances, and the levels on the air can vary from your location, from your city, from time of the day. And the highest pollen count is usually early morning to mid-morning. The spring allergies are usually caused by tree pollen. The summer allergies, then we go into the grass pollen, and in the fall we have more the weeds. You also can have a test done, either an allergy skin test or a blood test. It's called RAST, and it's usually applied to determine if you have seasonal allergies and also which type of pollen you are allergic to. Now, what do? Usually you go to your over-the-counter medication, and you have your Claritin and your Zyrtec and Benadryl and your nasal spray, and off you go. And it does say non-drowsy, but really it just adds another cloud on top of feeling miserable on top of it. Now, as I said, they are just band-aids. They reduce your sneezing attacks, your runny eyes, yes. But by now we want to really create a natural treatment which not only supports, and heals your existing symptoms, but also boosts your immune system, so the next year you are less susceptible for your allergies. We want to turn this page. So let's talk about the real cause of your allergies and how you treat them effectively. Now, with my short introduction right now, you maybe understand now that your allergies are not caused by the high pollen count or just the environmental triggers, but are truly stem from a very overactive immune system. But now it comes a little bit deeper now. We want to ask ourselves, what triggers this overreactive immune system? Right? What's behind that? And here I can say that your allergies are mainly caused by an impaired liver, and especially your left liver lobe. Also exhausted adrenal glands, a deficiency of digestive enzymes, and yes, the genetic factor play in as well. I wouldn't say that, but often it's a combination. We call it the healing triad. It's called the liver, stomach, and colon. As well as an impoverished diet. If you have these ingredients, you're more susceptible to allergies. I tell you what, your doctor probably doesn't even know about the left liver lobe. Even practitioners who work in the alternative medicine, just treat in general the liver, but don't treat the left liver lobe. So this is really vital information. And you also, it's very rare to find somebody who actually has a product for the left liver lobe, right? In my practice, I was just here, I use, products for the liver, and I use products for the left liver lobe, especially, next to the gallbladder, of course. So you really have to target and know where to go here. Let's talk a little bit about the function of the liver so you can understand it. Well, the liver's function are all about assimilation, processing of nutrients, construction also of biochemical complexes for your body's use. It's the main organ for detoxification of metabolic waste products. So if I create energy in my body, it's like the combustion principle. There is leftover waste products which need to be eliminated out of my body. It also, next to regulating your immune system, has a huge impact on your endocrine system, which means your hormonal function. That's why the adrenal glands comes in, your thyroid, your pituitary, hypothalamus, ovaries, testes, pancreas, all of them have to do with interacting and production of hormones. So on top of it, the liver, which is really the most important organ in your body, more so than the heart actually, it helps to control the histamine reaction. Remember, I just talked about the mast cell and the basophil granule which release histamine, and the liver controls this. So it's very, very important. And now we go a little bit further. The human immune system reads any protein as an important property in any food. It can be your fruit, your meat, your vegetable, can be your strawberry cheesecake, can be your chewing gum, right? This is all protein. But your pollen is also protein. A virus is a protein. A bacteria is a protein. Parasites are protein. They're all just proteins in the beginning, and they come into the body. So the liver is here as a checkpoint to say, are you a self or a threatening non-self? So what does that mean? Well, your liver makes a decision if this incoming protein, in this case the pollen, right, is a protein, has a name, because the liver is actually, the function is to give this protein a coding, like an identity card, like a name, like a passport. It directs the function of this protein. You go now to the kidneys and you go down to the stomach, right? That's what you want to do. And we call this checkpoint, checking the protein, where they want to go, where they should go, the identity, a humanizing process. And this check occurs because the body is so intelligent, because it says, well, if everything is a protein, we need to decipher now if this is a virus, a bacteria, parasite, or an airborne pollen. So if the proteins are not giving this coding or this identity, the immune system will relate to these proteins as invaders or foreign particles, because that's what the immune system does. When there are things inside your body which are not recognized by the entire system, then the immune system comes in and says, you gotta go out, right? I don't want you here. And therefore it happens. But if there are too many proteins floating around in the body which are not humanized by, or the checkpoint process of the liver, the immune system just keeps on over and over functioning. So our survival, right? The immune system is always quickly alerted to foreign proteins. But the problems with many people's allergy is their body's excessive reaction to proteins in the bloodstream which have not been humanized. And therefore it is the left liver lobe which is responsible for environmental and food allergies. As already mentioned, I also want to bring in a depleted adrenal glands. If you're worried, if you're stressed, if you can't sleep because you lost your job and you worry how to pay your next bill, right? That just adds to it. And then maybe you have a depleted diet now. Yeah? You can't just go to the shop and choose what you like. You have to get what's just there. You just add to this. So people with very toxic left liver lobes are often environmentally very sensitive to allergy And I would say allergic to practical everything, not just the pollen, but the food, and I can't do this and I can't do that, right? And it's the liver which is really depleted here. But there's a little bit more, and the allergies also have a lot to do with an interrupted cell communication, meaning the cells stop talking to each other because the cell membrane is now just, loaded up with toxins and garbage. And it just leads to the cellular inflammatory conditions within the body. So the true cause of your seasonal allergies, I would say, is lack of proper cellular communication, wrong cellular communication, like the alphabet isn't right. It's a miscommunication, resulting basically because of this overreactive immune system, a weak liver, a toxic left liver lobe, exhausted adrenal glands, and deficiency of digestive enzymes. Right? So that's where we want to start. So what can you do? Well, to start with, you need to take sort of a really nice natural supplement protocol. You can either choose Amazonian, Chinese and Western herbs. Ayurvedic is great here as well, but there has to be an emphasis on the liver, colon and stomach. You gotta hit your jackpot here. You have to go down to the very core. If you're in doubt, don't know what to do, contact me at health@medicanova.net. I'm happy to help here. As again, Medica Nova really offers a nice product from Systemic Formulas about the left liver lobe. You also can add herbal adrenal tonics if you want to, as well as your digestive enzymes. But I would say general, bring in quercetin, which is a plant pigment, a flavonoid. It's found in many plants and foods. Red wine has it, onions, green tea, apples, berries, ginkgo biloba, St. John's wort, all have these flavonoids. And you want to bring in quercetin, 1,000 milligrams a day. Also put in vitamin C, acerola cherry powder, organic is a good source of that. 1,000 milligrams, maybe 2 to 3 times a day for a few weeks. I also want to suggest spirulina, superfood is great. Bring in probiotics, at least 50 billion units. You want to bring in lots of good bowel flora, microbiome. Vitamin E, 2,000 milligrams. I would say also zinc, 30 milligrams daily for your immune system. And bromelain. Oh, I love bromelain. It's great. It's 1,000 milligrams. If you're more into herbs, stinging nettle is really wonderful here as well. It's a herbal supplement. It has antihistamine and anti-inflammatory properties, maybe 300 to 500 milligrams a day. So I would say quercetin, vitamin C, right? Really important. Bring in your zinc, vitamin A, bromelain, and nettle. Nutrition-wise, of course, during this time, reduce your wheat, extra sugar, dairy, anything that sort of aggravates or just burdens your liver even more. With that, I want to bring in my homeopathic remedies because that would be a nice combination, very effective protocol to have your supplements and your over-the-counter homeopathic remedies. As with all of my videos, I only share with you the ones you can get hold of in your local health food store. So the idea is that I share with you a selection of remedies and you match your individual expression of symptoms of your allergies with the remedy. If there's a match, you most likely see an improvement. Usually for adults, I would say the potency 30, 1 tablet every 2 to 3 hours for a few days. As soon as improvement starts in, stop it and then bring it back in as required. So let's start with that. So the first remedy I have in mind is Allium Cepa. It's basically made from red onion. So just imagine you're in your kitchen, slicing and cutting a fresh onion, right? What would happen? Well, after a while, your eyes start to water, your nose starts to run, and you go like, scratching your eyes, which is not so good. But this is exactly what you want to look for. You want to look for as if you cut a fresh onion, like watery eyes. That's the keynote here. It's one of the top remedies for allergic rhinitis, and is prescribed when there is a watery discharge from the eyes along with a runny nose. But here it comes, the watery discharge from the nose is quite acrid. So it makes your skin under your nose a little bit sore. There can be discharge from the eyes, which is very blunt, just lots of it, like a tap is opened up and you have water coming out. The eyes become red and sensitive to light, definitely, and you maybe want to rub them, which is not so great. But there's a burning in the nose and the eyes, and the skin might burn a little bit as well. The next remedy in line is called Euphrasia 30, and is exactly the opposite symptom. So here it all centers around your eyes as well. Profuse tearing, lots of water coming, but here that's coming out of your eyes is acrid. Right? It's burning in nature. And we have this non-irritating nasal discharge, totally opposite to Allium Cepa. There may be even a cough involved, particularly rising in the morning. And the symptoms are usually better in the open air, funny enough. But you have this more burning eyes and acrid eyes. Really everything focuses around the eyes. Another remedy which I like to mention, which is very helpful, is called Arsenicum album 30. And here the nose feels stopped up, and also it runs like water, so it alternates. And there's this thin, watery nasal discharge, which again makes the skin quite raw. There is sneezing without any relief. Right? So Allium Cepa doesn't have the sneezing so much. Euphrasia doesn't have the sneezing, but Arsenicum album has the sneezing. There can be even cold sores, which are quite common in the nose. The discharge can bite and definitely burns. The edges of the eyelids, they feel painful on motion even, and it gives you a sensation as if they're dry or even rubbing on the eyeball. The eyes definitely are burning and they are swollen and puffy. When we talked about the symptoms, people can experience puffy eyes. That's Arsenicum album. There's also intense photophobia, meaning like bright light, sunlight or artificial light, they can't take it. People are usually of that personality quite anxious and restless, and they just want to have something right now to stop these allergies, right? They can't take it. Another remedy which comes to mind where the sneezing is very much is Natrum muriaticum. Again, 30 is a good potency here. Best for allergic rhinitis, where the whole thing starts with the sneezing only. You just sneeze and sneeze, but you have nothing really with the eyes or the nose happening. But eventually there is this intense dryness of the mouth and the mucous membranes. Remember I talked to you when you wake up in the morning and you have this dry mouth or a sore throat even. So there can be this fluid discharge, changing again with the stoppage of the nose. So when you go out or against the wind, suddenly everything is running. Indoor it's maybe stopped up, but there's definitely loss of smell and taste involved. And the discharge is sort of thin and watery, but resembles a little bit the white of an egg. And I have to be a little bit gross here and go into detail, but I want you to learn the differentiations, the keynote of each remedy, because then the magic of homeopathy comes into really comes into impact here. Because people say, oh, homeopathy doesn't work. You know why it doesn't work? Because they don't know how to use it. So you got to look for your keynotes. That's very important here. So as I said, sneezing, go for the sneezing. Often you find in the health food store products which contain Sabadilla, and that's a great remedy here as well, where it's not just a little sneezing but excessive sneezing, right? With a constant runny nose. The emphasis here is on sneezing, sneezing, sneezing. The coryza, has maybe even a spasmodic sneezing involved. Severe frontal head pains, redness and watery of the eyes. Usually it's a left-sided remedy, so you have left-sided sore throat, left-sided headache, and also on. And sometimes the symptoms are better with hot drinks or, hot food, but it's definitely a spring remedy for spring allergies. But the predominant sort of keynote is sneezing, 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 sneezing. If you happen to have intense itching in the palate, the roof of your mouth, and there's severe burning and itching in your nose and the eyes, then you think about Arundo. It's very specific. It's an itching in the palate and in the nose. Arundo is wonderful here. Now, if your nose, your throat, and especially the palate or the roof of your mouth will itch and also extends to the ear, you think of Wyethia. Wyethia will kill it right there and then. It's almost that much scratchiness that you want to use your tongue to rub on the roof of your mouth. Right? That's really the keynote here. So Arundo has that as well, but Wyethia is more related to the itching of the palate, of the roof of your mouth. It's just the degree, right? If Arundo doesn't work, then go into Wyethia. Right? These remedies come without side effects, so you're not making anything wrong. The last remedy I want to think here is called Sanguinaria canadensis. Again, effective for hay fever, which comes from smelling flowers or fragrances, sensitive to flowers, right? The hands and the feet may burn as well, but it's very specific for flowers. Now, in homeopathy, we don't use remedy as preventative, so to say. Is there something I can take so I just get through this seasonal allergies? We don't usually do that. We usually, treat the patients with the individual symptoms, but I give you some tip here, which maybe is, helpful here. I would say to lessen your exposure to the allergens that cause the symptoms, I would get the homeopathic remedy Natrum muriaticum 30 and Naphthaline 30. And Naphthaline you will not get in the health food store. You can order it online, not a problem. And I would alternate these remedies on a weekly basis. So you take Natrum muriaticum 30, 1 tablet a week, then you switch to Naphthaline 30 the other week, and back to Natrum muriaticum 30. It's a nice combination, plus your quercetin, plus your vitamin C, right? Even that in itself will calm down the seasonal allergies. So the naphthalene in general is almost a specific remedy used as a preventative and curative in hay fever or seasonal allergies. Usually the symptoms are, we call it excoriating discharge. That means it's burning, it makes your skin raw, the red eyes and the nose and the eyelids are swollen. And also has a tendency to asthma even. So I think that's all what I want to say today and share with you today. Get your natural supplements and indicated homeopathic remedies, the ones which will fit your individual allergic reactions and expressions, and I think you're good to go. It doesn't take much, but of course adjust your diet, calm down your life a little bit more if you can, and if you need any help, contact me at health@medicanova.net. As I said, I'm always here for you. there's really no need to suffer throughout the upcoming glorious spring season. You should enjoy it. And here in the northern hemisphere or in the fall season, you know, for the ones who live in the southern hemisphere, and you can do it. I know you can. And as I said, reach out if you have any question, leave your comments below. I'm very supportive for your process. So till next time, much love and enjoy spring.